Yeah, I'm still not over that song, but at least I've stopped singing it. A fun game today, so we better get to those intros. When you're the victim of an extraterrestrial abduction, you better hope the aliens do not probe! Probe is an Australian player named Sean Kempin, playing for Legacy Esports. Our Zerg player is not the color rouge, he is Rogue! Rogue is one of the world's best Zerg players, easily a top 3 Zerg. He is a heavy favorite for this matchup. Like, so heavy you don't want him in the same elevator bank as you. Let's hope that Probe can rise to the challenge. There, he just did his gate and go and I didn't see him quiver or shake at all. He also didn't have the nerve to try to hatch block Rogue, though we are playing on the map Eternal Empire. A very large and very safe map. Well, no map is ever safe, but safer than what we've got in the rest of the map pool, I would say. Quick favorite fact about Rogue, he's the only player to ever win IEM Katowice twice. And now that that's the new Big Dog tournament, it means even more. Whoa! We've got ourselves a forge, people! Rogue is about to be cannon rushed, and he's got a regular pool timing. This is not going to be easy for Rogue. Probe is looking to take this game. Rogue's Overlord's going to see that pylon. He's dispatching a single drone to deal with it at this point. What he doesn't know is that there's actually a second probe on the way. Methinks there might be a twist to our cannon rush here. Pylon completes, forge is almost done. Probe's going to put down a cyber core. And there's the cannon. It's quite conservative. That's a long way from Rogue's base. But there's a second pylon planned by that second probe. He wants the low ground pylon to cover his shenanigans up top. Rogue withdraws his drone. He needs his pool to complete. It's almost there. How does Rogue defend? Does he go for a Roach Warren like Cyril, or does he go for the spines? I think I saw a Baneling nest there for a second. It's going to be a pair of spine crawlers. Probe declines to make a high ground cannon. Oh, he saved his money to put down a Robo. Oh yeah, Probe's got something very special prepared for us. I'm excited to see it. Rogue probably not so much. Rogue had to pull his Overlord back to get out of range of that cannon. Probe's gonna reinforce his proxy position with a shield battery. Rogue is gonna send out the Lings for a counterattack. His Overlord's gonna check to see if Probe has anything at home. Oh, Probe reacts by making a cannon behind his tight wall. Rogue spots it and returns his Lings home. What a chess match! Instead, Rogue's gonna try to move up his spines. He's working on Ling speed and cranking out the queens. The spines look like they're line dancing. I hate to propagate stereotypes, but the truth is, all Zerg plants love country music. 3 more cannons warping in for Probe. He's taking up a lot of real estate. Rogue takes down that high ground pylon, and his Lings go after a cannon. They get the cancel, but they might find the next one a little tougher. It's about to complete. It does. Yeah, Lings are not great against cannons, especially when they're backed by shield batteries. Probe got an observer out of his Robo, and now he's making an immortal. And he has a fully saturated base at home. I'm actually starting to wonder if he's going to take Rogue's third with a Nexus. Okay, the Queens have had enough here. The problem is they have a range of 5, while the cannons have a range of 7. If a Queen wants to overpower a cannon, it's got to take the hits and rely on transfuses. Or it can just run as soon as the cannon completes. Rogue's got himself a worker lead now, and it looks like he's going for non-stop Ling and Queen production. I don't really like the Lings against the cannons, but I do like them against the Immortal. Oh, Rogue just lost his Overlord. He's been supply blocked. He's started building a new one instantly. Probe's observer is giving his cannons vision on that high ground, and the shield battery's letting him win that contest. Probe is making himself super hard to extricate, and now his Immortal's forcing back the Spine Crawler. Spine Crawlers have the armored tag. Immortals can really carve into them. Rogue's up to 5 queens. That's a lot of transfuse energy. Can he micro his way out of this? He grabs his Lings and he charges the wall. Oh, actually I think it was a fake. The whole thing was a cover to sneak out a drone. Did Probe see it? Rogue is so crafty. It's really cool when players have IDs that actually kind of fit their style of play. Oh, you Immortals think you're so tough. Well, why don't you face me without your shield batteries and photon cannons then? Oh, this is great. Rogue's gonna play for time and get himself an econ advantage. Maybe he'll hide some tech. Oh, I think Probe saw it. He's searching. Oh, good for him. That was such a slight, tiny detail. If I didn't have the bird's eye view, I would not have spotted it. Probe's about to get himself a warp prism. That's going to change the dynamic here. He's going to be able to shuttle those immortals. If he can channel some of his inner need, that could be so deadly. Oh, he's going to force the queens to keep hitting the hardened shields. And if that doesn't work, you can drop them back into the shield batteries. Look at that, there's 6 queens and they can't get past the shield with a single immortal. Sorry, did I say 6 queens? I meant 8. Probe is not stopping with the shield batteries, man. I think he wants to go for Haas's record. Most shield batteries in a single game. I gotta remember to link that game for you. It was awesome. But so is this one. Rogue is not gonna break that. He'd need like 10 queens. Rogue's like, okay, I'll get 10 queens. Seriously, Rogue is only queens and lings still. It's like before the game started, he told one of his buddies, hey, bet I can beat this guy with just lings and queens. Oh, Probe has found the emergency expand. But can he actually spare the units to deal with it? Oh, the immortal count is up to 3. There's like 2 shield batteries for every immortal. Probe's got the answer to those lings. He just picks up the immortals with his warp prism. Oh, looks like Rogue wants to try to counter again. Probe's gonna need more than 1 cannon to hold that flood of lings. There's the drone evacuation. The queens cover their escape. They're gonna head for the 3rd base. This is like the evacuation at Hoth. Is there enough lings for the door challenge? Let's find out. Oh, Rogue's about to lose his natural here. Here come the broodlings. Will the queens use that moment to strike? Oh, that is a lot of hit points to cut through. Can the queens get revenge? No, they still can't even get the shields down. Oh, Probe recalled an immortal to defend. But Rogue has to be happy that he at least forced Probe to spend some money back at home. Oh, Rogue's going at the shield battery wall. We gave that up. That's just not gonna work. Rogue's averaging like 1 transfusion per second. You guys gotta remember to donate to the Red Cross, because the bank's gonna be empty by the time this video's over. It's a good thing queens all have the same blood type. They don't seem to spend a lot of time worrying about donor matching. Rogue makes a good call and pulls back to the high ground. It's more defensible, but now Probe has cut him off from his expand. Speaking of expands, Rogue's actually taking a 4th. And he's gonna fight to keep his main. He's held it. I take it back. He's averaging 2 transfuses a second. Probe's got to be feeling pretty lazy with the shield batteries auto-casting all his healing. As bad as it looks for Rogue, he is severely outmining the Protoss. What he doesn't have is just any kind of tech to use that money with. I feel like a Spire or even a Roachborn would be pretty huge right now. I guess he just hasn't had a chance. Probe wants to crush that Queen Army. I've said it before, but Blizzard did not intend for there to be Queen armies. In its original design, the Queen was actually a hero unit, like the Mothership. Hey, Rogue actually got an immortal. Unfortunately, there's 4 more. They need to lure them back. I believe the tasty bait is going to be the hatch at the main. A lot of lings are about to pop. Oh, Probe sees it. He's getting out of dodge. He runs back to his shield batteries. That has got to be so frustrating for Rogue. All this micro and he's losing ground. Or is he? He just took a 5th. I'm not so sure what he's doing with all these bases. He's only got 35 workers. But it is sure hard to eliminate a Zerg who takes every spot on the board. Oh, the main is in jeopardy. It's in deep red. I think Rogue has already emotionally divested himself from his main. I think he's going to get himself some broodlings and see if he can get anything done again. There it goes. Here's the attack. Oh, wow. He actually microed his broodlings back. Maybe broodlings are one of the units he's not allowed to use. He is, though, going to make a new spawning pool at his 3rd. Those queens are just trapped now. There will be no more reinforcements for them. Here comes their kamikaze run. Can they focus down an immortal or 2? Not if that warp prism has anything to say about it. Rogue is droning up at his other bases. And shockingly making lings and queens. The drones are going to fight with their last breath. Knock them out with a big club of minerals, guys. Oh, the carnage. This is going to violate the Geneva Convention. So much for the noble Protoss. There will be no survivors. That poor last queen had nobody to transfuse her. She was a victim of mathematics. So what happens now? Will Probe transition? Will Rogue finally get some tech? It looks like the answer is yes to both. Probe makes a nexus at the Zerg Natural. Rogue is going for lair tech. And 7 immortals and 1 warp prism are headed for the Zerg 3rd. That is a lot of firepower. Somehow, though, Rogue managed to get 6 queens. You gotta like Probe's chances here. But can he actually fight without 40 shield batteries? Rogue has gathered his lings. With a good surround, Lynx can take down an Immortal very cost effectively. Though Rogue's pulling in so much money, I'm not sure he cares about cost efficiency. He cares about survival at this point. Here comes the fight. It's Transfuse versus Hardened Shield. Probe's gonna use the Warp Prism to juggle. The Speedlings are like piranhas. They want to skeletonize those Immortals. Probe's pinned, he can't back away. Rogue is making a huge round of Speedlings. He's actually doing this. The Immortals are going up in smoke. It's GG. There is no transition. Rogue pulls it off. What an ending. I love this game. So, great strat by Probe tonight. Maybe it works against a lesser Zerg. I'm not sure I can even fault Probe for running all his Immortals south at Rogue's rebuild. If Probe actually wins that battle and forces Rogue to reset his tech a second time, he might have taken that game. The problem was he was away from his shield batteries, and Lings are pretty good against Immortals. You can't juggle 7 Immortals with a Warp Prism. Rogue got the surround, and that was that. But what that final critical fight really illustrated for me was why it is that you don't normally see an all-immortal Protoss composition. What you tend to see in the current meta for Protoss is death balls with half immortal, half Archon. Here we see why. Probe would have gladly traded some Immortals in for Archons if he could. Archons would have carved up those Lings pretty handily with their splash and let the Immortals go to town on the Queens. The problem for Probe was he decided he couldn't afford the investment in the second branch to his tech tree. When you can afford it, Archon and Immortal really is a good combo. Peanut butter and chocolate, or heavy damage and hit points. With his extra damage against armor and biological, it's great against Roach, Ravager, Ling, even decent against Mutas too. And while we're at it, for me, even after Probe lost his Immortal army, I might have tried to stay in the game. Rogue may have had a severe economic lead following that fight, but Rogue was still in no position to dislodge those cannons and shield batteries anytime soon. Probe could have built Nexi at the Zerg natural and third base location with his defense pretty much already in place there. You've given Rogue 10 minutes of harrowing combat. Why not try to hang in there and see what happens with the transition? Make him build something other than Lings and Queens. Lastly, I did want to register a complaint. Yes, a complaint. Every time I finally psych myself up to go and find something more productive with my time, some dude comes along and subs this channel, deluding me into thinking I should keep casting more games instead. So yes, seriously, I am thankful and I do appreciate the support, guys. So, let me express my revenge by replaying for you that spine crawler line dance. Feast your eyes on this hillbilly bliss. I have never seen two plants having so much inebriated fun. So from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.